What's up, Internet? This is Clinton Manning, and you're watching Tales by Firelight. When I was a teenager, I used to hang out with this guy that loved to go four-wheeling. And we used to go into the forests of Oregon and drive around in trails all day long. So one evening, we had been on the trail all day. The sun was already setting, and we were driving in his van, and we were tired. And we had the windows down, and there was a nice breeze blowing in the van, and we had just stopped at a restaurant, so we had the remains of our fast food, basically all over us and on the seat. And it was actually really beautiful. It was really peaceful. And so he was listening to some music, and I was kind of looking out the window. And there's a point in this road, there's a place where the road goes down, like it's like a steep hill, and then it comes back up again. And so as we were going down the hill, all of a sudden it's like my buddy who was driving the car, he remembered something and he panicked and he said, "Hurry, Clint, roll up your windows." And I was like, "What?" And he didn't have patience for me to do it myself, so he reached over and he cranked the window. I mean, this car was made in the 70s. So he cranked the window all the way up, cranked his window all the way up, and then he drove, just looking around like he was scared of something. And I was watching him, I was looking outside, and I'm sitting in here, and I don't see nothing. And then maybe 2 minutes of what lasted forever went by. He calmed down. He's like, "All right, you can roll down your window." And so I rolled down my window. And then he just keeps driving with, one hand on the window. And I look at him like, "Dude, what was that? That was weird." "Oh, it's nothing. It's just a story my brother told me once, and every time I drive on this road and I pass that area, I always roll my windows up." And so I said, "Well, tell me the story." And so he kind of looks in the rearview mirror to make sure he's far away. And so he said, "Well, when his brother was driving on that same road a few years back, he was all by himself, and he was cruising just like we were, but this time it was later in the evening. It was dark by then. And as he drove down the street, of course this is in the middle of nowhere, right? So there's like a mountain on this side, and there's the road, and over here there's like a little house, and just wilderness. And then what he said was he started to see a little old lady walking across the street, and she had like a cane. And as the lady crossed the street, he had to come to a halt because she was right in front of him. And so he stops, and his headlights are on, and there's something off because the lights kind of shined through the lady, but she did reflect. And as he looked closely, it's like the lady noticed he was looking at her, and she looked at him. Within an instant, she had moved through the car and was sitting right next to him. So he looked at her, and he freaked out, and he started to scream. And she looked back at him, and she did this enormous, hideous smile. And in that moment, he could perceive the insane thoughts of getting hit by a car, of being stuck in a place forever, hopelessness, confused, where am I? The only thing he could think of doing was hitting the gas. So that's what he did. And she, seemed to enjoy it and started to laugh. And as he hit the gas and started going faster and faster, and he had a stick shift, so it was like first gear, second gear, third gear. And then he wasn't looking at her anymore, and he could just feel her to the right of him. And he could hear kind of like cackling sound and almost like a breath. And then she was gone. And he looked right, and he looked back, and it was gone. And that crazy feeling, it's almost like he was sharing his mind with something else. It was also gone. And ever since that day, they think the reason why the ghost was able to come into the car because their windows were down. So they always roll their windows up whenever they drive in that area at night. Hey everyone, thank you for watching Tales by Firelight. I've been telling stories ever since I was a kid, and now as an adult, I work in Hollywood, helping them tell their stories. Now I'm bringing my stories to you, so please subscribe so you don't miss my next tale. Alright, have a good one.